Recording started, baby. Alright. We were running into some problems, right? We were having some buggies. So when I shoot a ball, nothing happens. So that was fucking good. So it seems that this RPC here, Net Force Destroy Actor, is not being called for some reason. Right? Even though we call it here, it doesn't get actually transmitted here. And that's a problem. And I figured out what was wrong. And Unreal has done them. So the problem is, we are destroying the projectile here. Before we're calling the RPC. And that is a big no-no. You cannot do that. So the thing that went wrong was that every RPC or every blueprint function you're trying to call really will check if the actor you're calling it on is pending destroy or not. And I wish it would call an error or something, like give me something to debug, but no. You have to kind of just realize slowly that you're trying to call an RPC on a destroyed object. Or a U function rather. So we just have to move this destroy down. There we go.
But I saw Unreal do pending kill before it kills.
Yes, but you can't call U functions on pending kills.
Oh, okay.
Like it just does a check to see if it's pending kill.
That's probably why we didn't have the same error, because I already did that, called the destroy after.
Yeah.
But okay, cool.
So now hopefully this should be fixed. Cool. So let's see what happens now. Okay, well that's not better. It's different, but it's not better. Why is this text so small? Why is this text like a pixel? Okay, exception thrown, read access violation, hit actor was null pointer. We're trying to dereference a null pointer, how silly I was. So what's going on here? Okay, so hit actor is null pointer. So that's a clear indication that either this is null pointer, which it can't be in this case. Like we can't have a blocking hit and not hit an actor. So probably in this case that's not true. So probably the serialization here is going wrong. So what's going on? Well, if we do some logging here. It's gonna log like net hit surface. We maybe can figure out kind of what's going on here. Oh, whoops. Needs to be text. Oh, jeez. Okay. So let's see then. Okay, so we get the error, and let's check the log and see what's happening here. Alright, so here we have 2 lines of net hit surface called. So clearly, net hit surface is running more than once. Actually running twice. Can you guys figure out why this is happening twice? Pop quiz.
Yeah, because
oh, you go.
It's called on the server. Then net is also called on the server.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2 times.
Well, this one doesn't run 2 times. It's this function that runs 2 times. This net hit surface.
Could it be that it hits on the surface we bounced on and then on the surface that is ourselves?
I don't think so. It should only hit it once.
Alright.
It's only the ball that has it implemented, not the
Not the
surface we're
itself.
hitting. So it should be fine.
Any other guesses?
You've secretly implemented in Blueprint as well?
No. No, it's not a trick question.
Is it triggering both times on the same frame, or is there a frame in between?
Well, I can give you a hint there. It's triggering the same frame on the server, but not on the client.
That's it then, isn't it?
There's something in there.
What, it's both
It's-
on the server and the client?
Sorry?
Wait, so it's triggering once on, like, is that why it's triggering twice? One on the server and then one on the client, and then
Well,
it freaks out because of that?
Yeah, I'll give you a hint. It's called twice from the client.
So the client is sending the request to destroy the object, basically, but the object isn't actually being destroyed by the client. It's being destroyed by the server, so the client has to wait for the server to destroy it, but that takes time. And in the meantime, the client is like, no, really, I need you to destroy this, and then just keeps basically spamming the server
Exactly.
until the object gets destroyed.
Exactly. Very good. So that's what's happening here. Let's paint it. 2 timelines. Whoops. Server. Client. Client hits the wall. Sends a message to the server. Hey, I hit the wall. That first of all takes time to get to the server. So here, server receives. Aha. You've hit the wall. Okay, destroy on my side, so it immediately gets destroyed on the server side. But then it has to send a message back to the client to actually destroy the wall. And here, the wall gets destroyed. Right? Because we're sending a server RPC, and then from the server RPC, we're calling a multicast. So it takes time. And meanwhile, here, frames are still happening on the client. Like, time is still passing here, so there's still frames being run. So it might take, like, maybe a few frames for the destroy message to actually come back in. And in the meantime, we're still running. So we're still like, oh, destroy the wall. Oh, we hit the wall again. Oh, destroy the wall. Oh, we hit the wall again. Destroy the wall. And each of these is a message to the server. So as soon as the second message to destroy the wall comes into the server, it has already destroyed the wall. So there is no wall anymore. So that's why we get a null pointer in the server RPC, because the wall does not exist anymore, which means like the name lookup thingy won't do anything, and what happens then? It becomes a null pointer. So that's where it will be like, what wall? I already destroyed it. So here we have a little bit of a problem, right? We can't sit and just wait for this to happen, or rather, we kind of have to wait, rather. We could do some implementation. I mean, the naive fix is to just do a null pointer check, right? To just be like, if hit actor is null pointer, then return. This will be like the naive way of doing this, right? To be like, okay, here's a bug. Okay, let's just program defensively and handle that bug, you know? It's sort of treating the symptom rather than the cause. But really, we don't actually want to we don't want to send a message every frame to the server waiting for something to happen. Really, we should just recognize that one message should be enough. And we shouldn't actually do any of this. This time should be not spent on sending even more messages that we have already sent. So that's sort of treating the cause rather than treating the symptom itself. So what do we do?
Should we add a little bool there where we flip, where if we say we've already sent a message?
Could do a bool. Yes, that's that's definitely one way.
Maybe like a hash set of all the objects that we've sent destroy messages for.
That would be a very complicated way, but yeah, we could do that as well. Would get quite complicated very fast though. That's one way. I want to try something. I'm gonna try just calling destroy here. Do I want to do
I mean, that would literally work, wouldn't it?
Literally. I don't actually know what happens. No, it won't work, because we cannot destroy anything locally. Yes, that won't work.
Can you like disable the collider or something then? Or?
Could disable the collider. There's a bunch of things we could do. I think, honestly, the easiest way to do this is you just add a bool. I think, honestly, that's the simplest possible case here. So I'm just gonna add a bool. Bool.
But what?
You can do like what you did before, disable the mesh renderer.
Yeah, we could. I mean, we could disable the rendering and the collision. We could do that. But I'm a little bit uncomfortable with this code running at all.
But okay, so the bool is in relation to what? Like the bullet has hit something.
Yes.
But it's in relation to that it's hit a wall, but the wall doesn't have code attached to it. So we don't know if the bullet is supposed to hit. Like, let's say the bullet hits multiple things.
I think the assumption that we're coding on here is that the bullet can't hit multiple things. Like it hits one thing and then gets destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going on
Otherwise,
an
you'd probably have to
assumption
go to something
Exactly.
more complex.
If we were making like a multi-hit bullet, this would have to be some sort of like Ewan said, we would have to make some sort of list here of everything that we have hit already. But in this case, I think a bool is just fine. So I'm just gonna do B has hit is true, which means like, okay, we hit something and we currently are waiting to see what's gonna happen. And then in tick, I'm just gonna add a if B has hit, return. Just don't do anything. So now we're sure if we hit something on the local side, then we don't do anything else. We just kind of chill until the server decides what's coming up. I think that's a good idea. Let's see if it works. You guys excited for Christmas? Crispin?
Yeah, I love Crispin.
Yeah. Have you guys seen that video of the girl going around in a mall? Right. Merry Crispin. Happy husband. I'm gonna fucking send that to you. It's so fucking funny.
It sounds amazing.
I need
Christmas,
that.
1 week away, guys. Wow.
I need that right now. 1 week away.
That's another video where a girl is trying to manifest Christmas early.
Oh, really?
Yes, she is just saying in a deadpan like, wow, I can't believe Christmas is 1 week away. 1 week away, guys. And it's like a month or whatever.
What the fuck? Christmas. This is Vine. This is fucking old school. Oh, there it is. Man, I love the energy of this girl so much. I'm gonna send it to you guys. This is important, by the way. This is way more important than whatever else we got going right now. Got important video.
Are we recording this part?
Yes. Wait, am I
Okay.
recording? Yes, I am recording. Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, so tangent over. Let's get back to business.
Can you wait like 6 seconds?
Yes, I'll wait 6 seconds so you can see the love of your life. Man, these guys are... I'm actually going to like these guys. I think they're pretty cute. They could be pretty nice. Okay. I'm gonna try to shoot this ball now. We'll see what happens. Yay! And we didn't even get an error. And for some reason the bullets didn't go boom boom. You see that? The bullet sticks around. And this is because I made a bug. Let's play Find That Bug. Can you find the bug?
You're returning under the net force destroy.
And why is that a bug?
Because then you don't run destroy on the actual
You have certainly
Oh.
eaten your breakfast this morning, because you're completely right. That is what was wrong.
Only
That's the kind
half.
of bug that takes me hours.
Sorry.
That's the kind of bug that takes me hours to find.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all been there. I have ran into the bug, like, you know, where you do a for loop, whatever. And then I'm like, oh, if this, then return. But I meant to write continue.
Mm.
And that bug has plagued me for many times.
Or switch statements where you forget to break and
Yeah.
you're like, what the hell?
That's the worst.
I had that problem back in the networking assignments.
Well, that's
Like,
great.
everything
You
works.
gotta run into those problems, because then you'll fucking learn for life, dude.
Yeah, I was like, everything works, but it's 11 o'clock or something. I want to go home. And then I was like, oh, I'm so sad. Nothing, my code doesn't work, but it really should. And then when I came back the next day, I was like, oh shit, I forgot the brakes. I forgot the brake. Oh no.
Just wanna go
Well, this
home.
base everything.
All right, so now we
Friends
see.
don't let friends code when tired.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna make some more dudes so I can shoot a little more.
But I'm always tired. And I can't code ever.
Okay, there we go. So now I can shoot a bunch of stuff. And I can actually shoot the bullets. Do you see that? If I like run forward, I can actually shoot the bullets themselves. That's pretty cool.
We can't queue them up anymore.
Yeah, that's
We lost a feature, man.
a shame. And actually, I think I can destroy the ground. Yep, there we go. Bye. All right. Let's fix the Miner Buggies, because whatever, it's unreal. I'm just gonna fix it so the balls can't collide with themselves. I want them to only be able to collide with other stuff. Let's see. I'm gonna no collision. That's good. I'm just gonna edit the preset here. Let's do a custom one. I don't believe there's a projectile. Okay, let's just make a fucking. Have you guys done this? Did we do this in the Unreal course? We did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This.
Okay, good. Because very few people actually know about this. I'm gonna make an object channel, call it projectiles. Default response should actually be ignore, I think.
Isn't this a bit like fucking around with layers in Unity?
I think it's the same actually, yeah. They have
Sweet!
yeah.
yeah, very good. It's not showing up though.
I have some memory of this now. I don't know if it's from your course or from the Udemy thing I bought.
But they don't have like a trace. They don't have trace channels there, right? They only have like channels, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
got
all.
layers.
Yeah, it's a bit big.
Do I have to like reload this for it to show up? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I did have to do it. Okay, so we're gonna set the object type here to be a projectile. And then, yeah, so it's gonna be ignore on projectiles. So it's gonna hit everything except other projectiles. And since it's itself is a projectile, that means it will not collide with any other projectiles.
Since you set it to ignore by default, won't the walls also ignore it? And like everything else?
I don't think it works like that. I think it does a one-way check. So if a ball is tracing, then it will use the ball's collision profile to check what should be happening. It doesn't actually do it like a double check.
Okay.
I believe.
So the projectile can hit you.
No,
but you
I
can't
was
hit
wrong.
the projectile.
Yeah, I was wrong. So yeah, it does. It does do a double check. I always forget. My bad. That's my bad. So I'm actually gonna go in. I don't really like going in and doing like default block, but I guess here there's no way around that. So I'm just gonna make that default block.
Well, I guess it depends on how many things in the game it's supposed to hit.
Yeah.
Like if it's just supposed to hit like specific types of walls, then it makes sense to just have it ignore by default and just set that for the walls.
And of course, since we didn't change the default on the projectile, they don't hit themselves as well. So I'm just gonna go into the ball and just change this to be ignore. There we go. Yay! And now I can shoot many balls. So I can do like a fucking stream of balls. Look like, just destroy everything. Very cool, guys. Very cool. So let's make some health then. So let's do it. So if I hit this man, I instead of just destroying him outright and just taking him out of the game, I wonder if there's a way to kick a player. I should look that up during the break. It would be funny to kick the whoops. It would be funny to kick the players when you shoot them, but yeah. So we want to make some sort of health system. So if I shoot a player, then they should lose some health, and if their health goes down to 0, they die, and that should be networked and work. So let's do that. I know you guys love health. So I am God, I have so much open. Just close everything.
Took me a while to get what you meant by kick the player. I was like starting to think of how to animate a foot coming out.
It's a square with a face and a foot comes out. Like fucking, like a fucking.
Is he supposed to fall over or die? Like what do you want to get with this? Like what would be the difference from just shooting him?
Send like a foot through the router to kick the actual player.
Exactly. Kick it through the screen. Okay, so we're gonna make some sort of health thing on the player character. So let's do like an integer. I don't think I can call it health. I'm gonna call it my health. God, I love Unreal. So when we oh yeah, I made a function here. I never even used it. So when we call the function, what do we call it? Get shot. Lose health. Lose health. Sure. When we call the function lose health, we're gonna take away some health and display that somehow. So let's do that. Put that under look vert. He's gonna do my health minus. And if my health is less than 0, less or equal to 0 rather, then we destroy. Cool. Very cool. So let's call this then. So we're gonna go into the ball.
Is this gonna work?
We'll see. So we're gonna do another if statement here. So we're first of all gonna check, are we hitting a player? So we're gonna do hit actor is a my player character. Then I'm gonna include it. Then we're gonna cast it. Oh, whoops. This is like the only time I use auto, when it's like a cast, because it's so obvious what it's gonna be. Then I'm just gonna call lose health. Like that. Cool. I'm gonna make this a U property, so we can read it from blueprints. Blueprint read only. Let's set it to 3 by default. Easy. Oh yeah, we have to make an else here. Because we don't want to destroy the player. Like, if it is a player, we want to just make it lose health. Otherwise, if it's not networked, we call this. Otherwise, we destroy it. I mean, we could remove the destroying if we want to do it. It's kind of weird, but whatever, we're just gonna keep it. It's the special stuff, it's a player. It's terraforming, you know? Oops. Oh, whoops, handle shoot was an important function. There we go. did Control F5 by just pure muscle memory, so we don't have to debug anything. And let's just add a little text widget on top of the player displaying their health. A text renderer rather. Put that up there. Make it center. And I'm just gonna do on tick because I'm a fucking maniac. I'm just gonna update this. No. God, it's so laggy. Let's get the health. Cool. So let's see what happens. So these guys have 3 health. Let's make it a little bit bigger. That was a bit small. Okay, so these guys have 3 health. If I shoot one of them. Okay, so the health doesn't change anywhere. Except for the server. So the guy I shot here still has 3 health on the client where I shot him. He's 3 health. But if you look on the server, the same guy has 1 health. So why is that?
So I guess it's not automatically replicating that out to the clients. So we might have to cast it, like do a broadcast ourselves, or...
Yeah. It's not synced. We have no way right now of syncing the integer because we're just setting an integer. And none of the properties are synced by default. So that's not good.
So is there a similar U property as to the U function to have it synced automatically?
Yes, there is. We can do replicated.
Yay.
Wow. So this will replicate this integer. However, we need to do something else as well. Let's see. Because this itself won't work. We have to do a little bit more work. Let's just restart.
So what you said, like do a broadcast.
We could do that as well. And we might just do that. Oh, whoops. I got some stuff here. Okay, yeah. So here's the problem, right? It's a very weird way here. This error is saying, okay, if we have something that is replicated, we need to implement this function, get lifetime replicated props. So we need to do this in C++ to make this work. So I'm just going to do that. Void get lifetime replicated props. And it takes a T array of f lifetime properties. Stick that at the end. Okay, so now I have the function unreal. Are you happy? Okay, I got a bunch of warnings. What was those warnings actually? Let's read them. Oh, well, it's too late. Build. Oh my god. Member function does not override any base class virtual member function. I'm not sure what this means, but that's fine. Let's see what happens. Let's shoot the guy. Whoops. I missed. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, so he got destroyed at least. Well, I killed him all. Let's not kill him all. 1, 2. There we go. So still, it's not really working. As you see on the server, I have 1 health. But on the clients, I still have 3 health. So just marking it as replicated won't be enough. We also have to do a little bit more. I'm actually gonna look up the... check the Unreal docs. Unreal replicated property. Just to read that for a little bit. See what happens in there. Warning! Changing a replicated value's value on the client is not recommended. The value will continue to differ from the server's value until the next time the server detects a change and sends an update. Okay, so here we have a warning already, which is kind of a reason why I don't really like replicated properties at all. Is that the clients are not allowed to change them. You should not change a replicated value from a client. Only servers are really allowed to change replicated values. Okay, so here we go. So here's the function here. I forgot to add a const at the end here. That's the problem. That's why I got the warnings. So we have to do this do rep lifetime. So that's what we have to do to actually get the replication working. We have to call this do rep lifetime. Blah, 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 blah. Stuff. So let's do that. First of all, I'm gonna make this const. And I guess override? I'm gonna call a super on this bad boy. And then I'm gonna do rule rep lifetime. Is that how you spelled it? Do rep lifetime. Yeah, looks good. And then it seems, whoops. And then it seems we have to put the name of the actor. So that's my player character. And then we have to put the name of the property, and that is my health. Oh, I actually forgot to put the class name here. Whoops. Go. So perhaps now we will see something interesting. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is actually the first time I'm doing replicated properties in my life. So let's see what errors we have here. My player character, illegal use of this type as an expression. And that error is only showing up because do rep lifetime identifier not found. So that's not good. So this do rep lifetime doesn't exist. Let's go and find it, shall we? Did I spell it right? Do rep lifetime. Do rep lifetime. Yeah, I spelled it correct. Let's go check if the character has this function. Whoops.
But the input was actor and owner, right? Not type.
Let's check the... Pre-replication. What? Oh, here we go. So if we check the characters version of it, it does some more complicated stuff, so that's not good. So it calls it do rep lifetime condition. I wonder if we have to do that as well. Let's go check it out. Yeah, there it is. Do rep lifetime. And they were inputting a character as a name here, so I'm guessing we have to do the same. But with our name. I'm just gonna fucking copy paste this. Copy. No? Okay, Unreal Network.h, let's include it.
There's a want to take the my health property, or does it want to take like the actor itself, like the
No, it
the
seems
owning
like it's
actor?
the property name here. Yeah, what does a character include then? Does it include network? It does. So let's do that as well. Whoops. So let's include this ourselves. Boop. Uh-oh. Out lifetime props. Okay, it needs to be called this. So that's stupid. Okay, so the variable here, this props here, it can't be called props. It must be called out lifetime props. So that's great. That's fantastic.
What the fuck, man?
I'm in love with this. I love Unreal.
People get mad at me when I say that like Unreal C++ isn't C++ because there's a bunch of shit that you just have to know.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
like breaks all the rules.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I never start learning C++ with Unreal. It's horrible.
Don't worry, you and I don't get mad at you for saying that about Unreal. I just get mad at Unreal instead.
That's what you do. Well, yeah, to be fair, when you want to make an engine that is this advanced, there's no way to get around doing a little bit of fuckery in C++, unfortunately. Okay, so let's see. So now we are actually replicating our variable with the do lifetime rep babadoodoo. So let's see if I shoot this guy. Bang. Wow! He has 2 health now.
That's cool.
Wow! And if I kill him, boom, he's dead. He's gone. He's never coming back. And I'm coming for you now. Excuse me, holy shit. Okay, so that is a replicated variable, or a replicated property, I should say.
And then you call that macro on all the variables you want to be replicated, I guess.
Exactly. So you have to call this for every... I have no idea why they couldn't just auto-generate this. I mean, they auto-generate everything else. So I'm not sure quite why they didn't just auto-generate this. But, I don't know. That being said, I would actually encourage you not to use this. You have very little control when it's being synced. Like if this variable has some gameplay specific stuff tied to it, you have very little control about when does it update, when is it called. You know, there's a bunch of code running that you have just no idea about. You're really trusting Unreal to do your game there. And usually it's like if I'm changing health, I probably want to play like an animation or something. I want to do something to show the player that they lost health. And sure, you can do like on rep notify and stuff, but at that point, why not just make it a multicast? It's like if you're anyway gonna call a function when this changes, why not just make it a multicast? It will do the same thing. You don't have to do this horrible get lifetime replicated props thing. You have more control over when it's called. And it's just in general more error safe. So that's why I would say don't use this. That's just my opinion, of course. Like you will probably hear someone say it's the best thing ever, and maybe they're right. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I have never seen a use case for using replicated properties. Like
What's interesting now is also that you're actually calling lose health still, right?
Yeah.
Without, not only on the server, so you are changing the variable locally as well, but it gets overridden by get lifetime replicated props, right?
Is that true?
Or something.
Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know what happens.
Anyone have any other opinion? Do we call this on everywhere?
No, it only gets called on the server, right?
Why is that, Ewan?
Because that's the way it works.
What do you mean
But,
that's the way it works?
I mean, the function lose health isn't even a U function.
No. But where
Well, no,
do
but
we
it's
call?
It's called inside the server only.
All right. Okay.
Yes,
it's
that's
called in
net shoot ball or whatever.
hit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But of course, yes, if we did call lose health, like from just a broadcast or anything else, then yes, it would be like we would change it everywhere, so the replication wouldn't even be necessary.
Yeah, but that's like also literally exactly what the docs were just telling us not to do, right? Because if we change any replicated thing locally on a client, then there's the potential for it desyncing, and you can end up in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this is, for me, this would be bug prone as fuck, because the lose health function here, like I would keep changing stuff in that and thinking it would affect it in one place, and then I'm calling it from another. Like it's not even called at all at this actor, and if I did, that would just break it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
it's weird to have a function that's local, but that only gets called from the server and not mark it out.
Yeah, it's super weird. It's like really uncomfortable.
Yeah, so that's kind of the thing with networking, choosing where to put the networking. Because like your first thought might be to just like, okay, every function that potentially does anything networking, just make it a networking function. That might be your first gut reaction to like make everything safe. But then either A, you call it way too much, and it's like, you know, if as soon as you have like a networking function calling a networking function calling a networking function, there's so many net messages there that just don't need to be there. And it will actually perhaps make things more unsafe, because if you're calling it from, let's say, a net broadcast, then you still end up with like a bunch of clients calling a network function because you didn't happen to sort of keep remembering like where is this called from. So yeah, it can get quite icky if you start throwing net functions everywhere. In general, what I do is that keep functions local as long as you possibly can. And then try to find what is causing this function to be called. Like, why would this be called? Is it like when a bullet hits a player or something? Like, what's the cause? And then I would network that instead. To be like, network the cause, not the details. That is usually how I do things. Don't network the details, because then you don't know whatever is calling that detail. You don't know what kind of network context that is in. Should it even be networked at this point? So that's why in general, I try to keep details such as lose health. Maybe if it was something more extreme, like kill player or something, maybe I would make that networked. I don't know. It's kind of a case-by-case basis. But in this case, I feel pretty comfortable that it's like, okay, lose health that's fine, that's a local function, and I'll just make sure whatever is calling lose health is networked. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna actually remove replicated here on my health, because I showed you that it's a thing, and now I never want to do it again in my life. The more days go by without me replicating an variable, the better. And that's why at Hazelight we didn't have any way to replicate variables like this. There was no way to just set the integer as replicated. We didn't have that. That wasn't a feature, because we never used it, so we didn't see a reason to put it in. So instead, what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna rewrite this a little bit. I could make a multicast to hit a player. Let's do that, actually. I think that's the simplest way. I'm just gonna make a multicast on the ball to be like void net hit player. And I'm just gonna give it the player here. My player character. And I'm gonna forward declare it. So I'm gonna say on the server, I'm gonna check, okay, are we hitting a player right now? In that case, multicast that we have hit that player. Whoops. So instead of calling lose health directly, I'm gonna multicast that we hit the player. I'm gonna multicast the cause. Net hit play. remove this print as well. So now, inside of this function, now we can sort of remember our context where we are. Okay, so we are in a context that this is already networked. Whatever happens in here, it's gonna be networked automatically. We don't have to call any more broadcasts from here. If we want to play animations, we want to spawn a particle effect, we want to, send a message in chat or something, or print a message on screen, we don't need to network any of those functions, because the context that we're calling them from is already networked. And that's the thing, like, for example, if we, let's say, for example, let's take an example from It Takes Two, right? Where there was a level where you could pull stuff with magnets and stuff from both players. And what we realized was that if we just network the pulling of the magnets, making sure that's networked, always synced on both sides. If there was like a puzzle or something, depending on, you pulled it here, you pulled it there. Maybe that's a bad example, but we will already know the actual pulling is already networked. We don't have to network anything if it's a simple system. Let's take a simpler example, throwing the nail at something. You throw a nail at a wall and a door opens. Again, the nail throwing and hitting the wall is already networked. So opening the door, triggering the cutscene, killing the enemy or anything like that, it didn't need to be networked. Because it was already, the cause was already networked. So the designers had to do very little networking to make the game work, because we made sure that the core systems were already networked by default. So that if they got a callback saying like this nail hit this actor, they just need to run code, and the context is already in the network setting, so they don't have to worry about that. We kind of doing the same thing here.
Feels like the sort of design you usually do for blueprints as well, actually. Just when this happens, and then handle it in blueprint wherever it happens. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's kind of event-driven.
Yeah, exactly. And as long as you make the events networked, then you don't have to worry that much about networking.
right. They even call the implementation the same thing.
Sorry?
Yes, they do. The underscore implementation thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that also has to run like millions of lines of code to make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, since this NetHit player is in a networked context, this is broadcasted, I think. Did I make it broadcast? I did. Okay. It's not multicasted. We don't have to worry about making lose health a net function. We can keep it as a local function. We can play animations. We can do all kinds of shit. We can decrease our health. Our health doesn't need to be networked. Because as long as we remember, call lose health within a network context, health will always be synced. Fantastic. So let's try this digger dang thing. And if it works, we'll take a well-deserved break. How do you guys feel about that?
Good, I need coffee.
Yeah, I need coffee as well.
I need pepper cakes.
Oh, nice, dude. I love calling them pepper cakes. It's such a much more fun word than fucking cinnamon bread or whatever you call it.
Yeah, it's definitely called cinnamon bread.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
oops. Okay, failed to find function. That probably means we have to restart. What is it called? Gingerbread. There we go.
Yeah.
Why is it called
I
gingerbread?
don't know why.
There's
Like,
no
it doesn't have
in
ginger in it.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's also not bread.
Yeah, it's also... Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But it doesn't have pepper in it either. So, like, everyone's wrong, I guess.
Doesn't... But cinnamon's like a pepper.
What?
Isn't pepper a family of fruits? Okay, let's just keep going here. So I'm just gonna shoot this guy, and there we go. So he took damage, and on the client side, they also took damage. Boom. Okay, so it works. Great. So now we've successfully synced health without actually having to do any replicated variables. How nice. How
Very nice.
Okay, let's take a 10-minute break. So I'll see you guys back, let's say 14:05. Yeah, 14:05 sounds good. Cool.
Awesome. See you
Cool.
guys soon.
See you
See you
soon.
in a bit.